Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of NFTs and Creepz, the update. So today, before we start, I want to tell you about a conspiracy. In front of you on the screen here is the Creepz main page, and the Creepz project is based on conspiracies, exploiting all these conspiracies and like bringing them out. That's what it's about. So here's what I'd like you to know. I'm here in one of the most beautiful spots in the world, the second best diving place in the world, with one of the best weathers at this time of year, inside a room with a guard standing, well, I don't know, sleeping, whatever, outside the door, not letting me out. This is fact, or is it? I'll leave you to that. I'd like you to think on it and let me know on a comment or however you like. The person who gets it right, I'm gonna give a shout out to that person on our next video. And I might drop a bit more hints to it as well, if nobody gets it. Anyways, that's it for the conspiracy part today. Now, I wanted to make this episode slightly different than our previous episodes, because I believe we are going through a change in the market as a whole. And I need to kind of show you the different dynamics going on, and then we'll drill down into the Creepz project and get an update of that. So first of all, the market as a whole. Remember, NFT came out of cryptocurrencies initially. Okay, so I always look at cryptocurrency market, how that's going, to understand the NFT market, how it's going to go. Usually the cycle is quite opposite. So if the cryptocurrency market is good, the NFT market is not good, and vice versa. So let's look at the big boy Bitcoin's chart here. It's at 42,000 today. Okay, let's see what the chart says. So this is our 1 year chart. This was the last NFT boom back in May, June, July. Bitcoin was down, NFT was up, and Bitcoin went up, NFT went down. And then this time around, Bitcoin went down again, NFT went booming. Now, if we look at the OpenSea market, dunes.xyz OpenSea, I believe. I hope I can find this link. There you go. Dynaamics. Interesting. It did take a dip down, but it went right back up really quick within days. So the market is actually booming again on the NFT space. So I look at this graph. This is the volume graph of the OpenSea daily volume of Ethereum. If you just Google DuneXYZ OpenSea, you'll get this chart. I'll put a link on it as well in the video. So essentially, it looks like crypto's taking a dive again. It was starting to recover, but it's taking a dive again. But here's the thing: this new top is not as big as the previous tops, and it's falling as well. So I'd be quite cautious that it dipped so low and then came back up. This is a very bearish sign. So yeah, proceed with caution is what I'll do with NFTs right now, because the market seems to be undecided. It went down, it went up again. At least mathematically speaking, this is a bit suspicious. So with that in mind, let's go into our topic today, Creepz. Cold-blooded Creepz NFT project. What my view is, would I invest in it, and is it a good time to get in, and what would be the way forward? So let me see if it loads up. For some reason it's taking its time. It's a bit weird. It is taking its time. Right, here we go. So let's have a look at Creepz. So their main flagship product, the Genesis Creepz. The price here is $249 today. So it dropped quite a bit. Interesting. Very interesting. So you could get a Creepz Genesis, a blue one for $249. Sorry, a green one for $249, a blue one for $27, a grey one for $28, a yellow one for $29. That is cheap. And then where's the nearest pink one? Purple one. There you go. 3.34. So these are very good prices for a blue chip project. Would I get in? Okay, let's do some maths to make sure it makes sense. Each of these generates 1500 loomies. So from purely ROI point of view, 1500 loomies, at the moment the price of a loomie is I believe 1 cent. So let's look at the price of loomie. This is the loomie price. So as we can see here, the price is gone at 0.011. Yeah, so we could fetch 0.01. So let's do some very simple maths here. If this guy generates 1500 loomies a day, when you withdraw it, you end up with about 1100, let's say. Okay, so 1100 you get back per day. That's about $11 at 1 cent a loomie. So it will make $11 a day. That's $330 a month, and it will cost us about 8,000, about 7.5, let's say. Okay, 7,500 to buy it, 300 a month, 3,600 a year. So within 2 years, we get our money back, more or less, by buying one of these and just collecting loomies. Obviously, it's not as simple as that. There's a bit more to it. There's the value involved. So the value of this is actually quite low at the moment, but it is very tagged to the loomie price. So I'll be a bit cautious to understand. And then let's look at the other thing. 11,000 pieces. There's only 46 items for sale at the moment. So if we look at the floor, it is actually quite thin. Like, say the purple floor, it's 3.34, 3.4. And then the next purple up is at 3.6, 3.69. And then we've got one at 4.1. So there's 4 of those. And then we've got, there's one at, 3.34 is where it starts. So they go up by almost an ETH after 4 of them. So it's quite thin. 146 is not even 1%, is not even 2%. So it's about less than 2%, which is quite low compared to most projects out there. So most people are staking it. So this is like talking from somebody new coming into the project. I wouldn't be too unhappy getting in right now, because now the market is down. The NFT market is taking a dip. Crypto is starting to rise up. So we might go onto an NFT winter for a while. And that's the time to kind of buy solid blue chip projects where we've got a solid team behind who can actually deliver and can survive the winter. And I think parking money in projects like these is not necessarily a bad idea. I'm definitely going to park some NFTs in here and let them live, ride out the winter. The other thing that's coming up is their roadmap. So if you look at the website, what do they have coming up? Actually, let's look at their latest thing that's going on. They've got the mystery box running currently. We've just finished week 1 today. There'll be 2 more weeks. And then there's going to be the new enemy lizards that will be coming in. So essentially, like I've started collecting these shards, and shards actually lets you create these enemy lizards. So every week you need to collect at least 1 shard, and that could help you get an enemy lizard. So, oh, there you go. There's my shard here, one of them. So, as you can see, here's my shard. And yeah, that should be enough for this week. I've got a shard. If I have more, is better, obviously, but at least having 1 is always good. So every week we need to collect at least 1 shard, and then we can mint these enemy lizards. That's the key here. So what I think is we can potentially create, while the loomies are cheap, to get these mints, these shards and points. There's like 2 elements to it. One is the shards, and the other is the point you get, the leaderboard points. So I personally didn't go for the leaderboard points because, yeah, like the top guy here has 18,000 points. I have 44 points, so I'm quite far off. I wasn't aiming for the top. I was aiming just to be able to get in onto the enemy race, because I believe those lizards would be quite valuable to create, and I'll be getting them for quite cheap, because loomies, each of these spins costs about 2,000 loomies, which is about $20. Actually $15, because when you withdraw 2,000 you only get 1,500 back. So $15 a spin, and I can do I think I needed to do about 15 spins to get 1 shard. So 15 times 15 is $225 per week is what I need to spend. So within 3 weeks it's going to be about, let's say, $250 with gas. $750 could get me an enemy lizard. So in Ethereum, that's only about 0.25 or something like that. So a quarter Ethereum can get me an enemy lizard, and I think an enemy lizard will be worth a lot more than a quarter Ethereum. So that's a good play for me. I'm down for that. I did used to gamble, but I don't gamble. So I'm really trying to stay out of the gambling and just really keeping it strictly mathematical for now. So yeah, so that's basically my strategy here, to kind of really, for the next few weeks, just keep it low, collect my shards, get the enemy lizards, and for Creepz to, yeah, for the market to really get a chance to come back up. I mean, I personally would think it would take another at least 2-3 months before the market is in a very bullish position again for NFTs. I think we've entered into a kind of quieter time on NFTs. Although there's a lot of different projects running up right now, it is a bit quieter right now than it used to be. So yeah, with that said, that's the strategy for Creepz going forward right now, and I really hope this helps you. And this is not the only strategy, of course. There's plenty of other ways to get around this. This is just one of many possible ways to do it. Before we wrap up, the other quick thing to look at is there's some really nice, interesting side projects by some of the Creepz members coming up. and I might potentially be getting into those ones. Like there's the Creepz Alpha community, there's various Creepz Alpha communities I've been part of, and they've started really picking up and becoming alive now. There's a DAO project coming up, so there's a few different kind of interesting smaller things coming up, which would be enough to really build up the ecosystem around it.
I will see you in part 2, where we're going to be discussing about Mecha Apes by Ugaverse and our current outlook on that project. See you later.